Hello, everyone. It's Saturday night, and we are at FishEZ. I'm going to, while everybody's starting to connect, maybe get the notice. Maybe it takes a little bit of time. I'm just going to say for those who are watching on the replay, thank you for coming back to watch us. I'm going to put get the microphone going. I always forget something. Let's see. We're looking at. Now see that. Okay, so here we are, folks. I hope you can hear me better now. This is a quick look at the barb tank. This is our big mascara barb tank with a few green tiger barbs, a few Odessas in there. Our little blind fish is looking pretty sad. Not much I can do about him. He's been with us for a few years now, completely blind, but making it. He's been doing quite well in this tank for a number of years. But I think with the competition of this many fish, it's hard to find enough food. We do have another little companion. It was a leftover from one of the, I want to say it was just a little leftover from one of the shows. It was left behind and I managed to save it. It is a small roseline barb. There he is. It's a very small one. But I decided to put him in with the other Dawkinsia barbs because I figure they will do quite well together. Shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, these fish are Macs are doing okay, growing. There's a few in here. A couple of nice looking ones. They're very camera shy. Look at them hiding down below. But they will come up when needed. So here we are on a Saturday night. Thank you for joining us. There's a number of you already joining, and thank you so much for that. We're going to take a look at some of the dwarf cichlids that we got. I don't know if you saw in the thumbnail, but these are the dwarf cichlids that I have put here on the side, hoping to get some pairs going. These are the Criviceps, Leacara Criviceps, and in this tank they're looking pretty nice. I did clean the glass last week. It looks like it needs to be cleaned again. Always forget to do that before I go live. But there's 8 of them in here, and they're very shy. So when the camera sticks up, they're like wondering what is that big black thing looking at them. And they'll come out. Given enough, just need a little patience. There's a group of them over here. There's 8 total. I think if you look closely at the fins, you should be able to tell that the males have more long, elongated, pointy fins, whereas the females are a little more rounded, not quite as elongated. As far as coloration goes, in this particular species, I find that the females are just as beautiful as the males, color-wise. Let's look at them. Whoops. Here we go. Gorgeous fish, really. I mean, they got a good temperament, and they're got some good colors. Let's see if I can get past the algae. These are young ones, and so they're not even fully colored up. I've noticed that when they're about to go down on eggs, when they're about to breed, they get very dark. And so that usually is a good indicator, for me at least, when they start to go dark, that they're about to lay eggs. They're a pretty little species. They don't get much larger than this. Look at that color. He's showing off. That looks like a male. Looks like a couple males chasing each other off. And of course, to give you an idea, some penguin tetras here. I thought our penguin tetras, they got a lot of color too. There's something about them. They're doing quite well color-wise. It's almost impossible for me to tell the difference between a male and a female. And they're all kind of plump after you feed them. So I tried not to feed them to determine which ones are the plump ones or not. I was sort of successful. I put 6 over here that I thought were males. Here's 6 that I think were males. I don't know if they are. And here's 6 that are females. I think they are. But one seems to be really dominant over here. I don't know if it's a situation where it's a male amongst a bunch of females, and see the way he just kind of, in typical Tetra fashion, spars off any of the others. When I go to pick out maybe some breeders, maybe I won't use that one just because I think it might be the wrong sex. So maybe I'll pull him out, see if the others do it too. So there you go. Our little guy over here that survived my trip away, little McMasterai, is doing well. There's 2 of them in here. Somehow for 4 weeks they had no food, no care, no nothing. And in this tank they survived. There was nothing in the tank. There wasn't even any vegetation or anything. But they're shy little things. But got to get them out of there one of these days. Let them grow out, see what else they can become. I'm going to show you some of the new dwarf. We've got some new dwarf cichlids from last week. We did an unboxing, as you recall. See if we can take a quick look at some of these histogrammas, if there's any out. They sometimes can be quite, this one's not doing well. We've got a problem here. Something I didn't see earlier. It's breathing, moving, but he might be getting attacked. Stress situation. That's not good. But those are the Trifasciata. They are extremely aggressive. They're the most aggressive ones. Here we're looking at the, if you look back there's one coming around the corner. These are Agassiz triple reds. They're quite attractive. FishEZ, hello, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, see here? This guy's come back. Maybe this is the problem. He's being attacked by this one. I was thinking about removing the most aggressive one out, putting him in his own tank, so he'd stop attacking the others. The females are just not ready. I don't think they need to be conditioned more. And there's one behind. I put a bunch of items in the background. See that? Oh. Yeah, they don't like each other, but I tried to put in all kinds of things, blocks, things that they can't see, give each other a chance. So, and here's our, I don't have a light over these tanks. They've been in the semi-darkness, trying to keep them getting too wild. These are the reds. Over here, these are the ones that seem to be the least what's the word? These are the Hogsloi, red gold morph. They got a lot of beautiful color. They seem to be the most docile of the group. In our last histogramma tank, the males here are always hidden. They are super least aggressive. Yeah, the Hogsloi seem to be the least aggressive towards each other. And oh, they're all coming out. Look at this. First time I've seen these guys. These are the Banshee or Inca 50s. And there's 4 of them in here. This is the first time I've seen them. They've always hidden away in the dark corner. I'm glad I had a chance to see them because I've been feeding them Daphnia, grindle worms, baby brine shrimp, just trying to get these guys to just kind of settle in, you know? Before I do anything, I have dewormed them. The process was, first of all, to give them some, I gave them something for any torn fins or anything in the process of moving from tank to tank or from getting them home. And now the next step is to, of course, we deworm them. This one here doesn't have the same blue. This isn't a female, is it? I don't think so. When you look at the females, you see there's a big difference. They've got stripes. Yeah, the Panduros we're already in the fish room. We've been raising a lot of those. They're right behind me over here. These guys are well established. So the female and the male, they're doing well. This one, this pair here too. They've produced batches for us. They're a little nervous. They clamp their fins when they feel like they're being threatened. Here he goes. He's starting to show off. But the camera doesn't help because it's something a little new to them. So I come up here. They think they're me. They look like they're going to get fed. They think there's some food going to be tossed in there, and then they see this big camera sticking in their face, and they don't know what to think about that. Huh? But yeah, the female Panduros, I find to be very attractive. They're yellow. They got the black blotch. They got the ring on the tail, which makes it nice. Yeah. And this is their tank. I'm going to add also something was mentioned in the video I saw once, putting in some mops, not because for them to spawn, but a mop when there's aggression between the pair or between fish. It's a great place to hide. You can set up mops, hang them from the top, and I think that's really a great thing to do. I think it's a good idea, so I'm going to try using the mop method too. Some rainbows, we've got some luminatus, we've got some praecox. They're just growing up in here, not a problem. They go fast, grow very fast. We've got some CPDs still growing in our box. Nothing here yet. I don't know. Looks like the water's a little low. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put some water in. But I added some white clouds to this group. I wanted to see if those cherry barbs would, not the cherry barbs, the white clouds would lay in the moss. And there's Chopre Danios. By the way, I just got a magazine with the Chopre Danio on the cover. I think it was Amazonas magazine. I was really impressed. I can't wait to crack that open and check it out. They're featuring the Chopre Danio, and I thought, oh, yeah, they're beautiful fish back in the back here. Whoops. Oops, sorry. I don't know what happened. I zoomed in. Okay. So you ask about tank mates with them and species only, the Panduro. Well, I would, I have put Panduros in here. Now, right now you're looking at Ocellatus. Beautiful pink bellies on these girls. I mean, what a beautiful dwarf cichlid. If you have one in a community tank or a pair or something like that, they seem to do quite well. They really do. I've had the Panduros in here many a times. And right now I don't have any. Oh, no, there is one actually. I remember one escaped in from the breeder box, and I've never taken it out. There it is over there. Right under the leaf, right there. Panduro. And I think it's a female, but let's take another look at her. It's been a while since I've had a close look. Okay. It's kind of hard to tell, really. But it's got black on the ventral fins. So that's a sign. I don't see a lot of yellowing. The spot looks more like it's in the center and above, not a lot down by the belly. So that would tell me maybe a male. Oh, this side, the right-hand side, looks a lot more black than the left side. So there it is. See, goes all the way down to the belly. So this is probably a female Panduro. I'm guessing anyway. Hard to say for sure, but if I put a male in there, maybe it would start to get to that age. We're also looking at some really nice fish to be breeding very soon. If I can get active, get some of this action done around this fish room. As you can see, it's a mess. I've got buckets and things to put away. I've got some little projects to do. It's a disaster. I don't know if your fish room looks like that, but hopefully not. The idea, though, is I got to get to one project at a time. I've got too many projects really going at one time. And in this particular, there's a chopre right there. See them? They're pretty. Zipped away. They're fast. There's another. Come back, see? I noticed that the chopre and the threadfin rainbow are always chasing each other. That's Roman's male threadfin, and he's the father of all these fry over here. Let's take a quick look, see if they're still alive. Yes, they are. They're growing, but very slowly. Week after week, it seems, I don't know how many we're going to end up with, but looks like a good number. See that? All you need is about a half a dozen, maybe a dozen, half a dozen to a dozen survivors here would be great, males and females. When they get big enough, I'll find a home for them. Here's the male subocellatus. He came out. He's not as pretty as the female. Females have that beautiful pink and purple belly. I tell you, that's really makes them special. I have a male here, and I have a male up with the barbs. I threw him in the community in here just because I had him extra. I needed to do something with him. Here he is. And he's there. He's got a lot of color, too. He's got more color than the other male, doesn't he? He's more relaxed, I think. He's got purple on the tail, purple on the anal fin, yellow. Yeah, this is nice. He's probably ready to go into the other community pen with the female. I might just do that, throw them in there and see if they spawn. Might get something out of them. Anyway, species, if you can put the epistogrammas, the panduros, if they were big enough. I have too small of a tank. I have very small, less than 10 gallons that I have the breeders in. But if you have something bigger than that, like a 20-gallon long or something, I would go ahead and you can put. I mean, look at the tetras. The tetras hang out up near the top. Danios hang out near the top. They don't really go down low. There are certain fish you just know will not bother. Neons and cardinals are like that. They're not going to hunt down the fry. They're also a good dither fish. Now, a barb, on the other hand, it wouldn't surprise me if they went and saw if they saw a fry and the mom and dad. So in this tank, I might I'll have to remove the barbs. That's what we should do. We should do that tonight. See, that female, she's really looking hot. Maybe we'll put the male in here, but I'll take a pisto cave, kind of build it in the rocks. She has kind of selected this section of the pile of rocks for her. She goes in and out of the rocks. She's almost impossible to get out. But I may have to take out the barbs. I was wanting to do that anyway. You can see the hexazonas are doing very well, but they're now very easy to sex. A female looks like less red color more rounded and has a belly. See, the male in the foreground has a lot of reddish tint, and there's the reddish tint. No big belly. Of these, there's a female right there. The bars have that iridescent, scintillating color in the black bars. There's a female, quite obvious. There's a female, the green specks. There's a male. He also has the beautiful bars, but he doesn't have the big belly. So they take a different shape. So they're all at an age where it's very easy to sex. So I can separate them out. That's a checkered barb. The male checkers, let's see, the male checker barbs are over here, and I noticed they were sparring with one another. Here's one here. It's dark. Whoop. What happened? They got their food. They think I have some special food for them. There's a male right there. He's got the reddish in the fins. It gets very dark sometimes, like almost black. There's one. Take a look at that one. Where'd he go? Right? Where'd he go? Well, there's two right there. They've got the reddish fins. They got a bluish metallic sheen on them. I think there's 3 males in here. Look at this one. There's 3, yeah. 1, 2, 3. Those are the checkered barbs, and they don't get as big as other barbs. They're not nearly as big as a tiger barb or anything. Oh, look at that one. That one's got good color. The ruby would get out of the way. The ruby barbs were getting dark. The males get dark with their dark bodies and red noses from time to time in this tank, but not every day. So let me try holding still for a second. Yeah, let's take that male out. Yeah, we'll use that male subocellatus and just try that out. I think that would be fun. We do have a pair. They might protect the babies, and I might be able to get some out. If they can just get the babies to the point where we can, you know what I mean? If we can get them to the point where, there she is from this side. If they have babies, you know, I can always siphon them out if I get some out for the other tank mates. But I wouldn't have as much fear if the only tank mates in there were the cardinals, the Danios, redfin, of course, because they're going to stay up above. Oh, and this little Panduro, we would have to do something with. Oh, wow. Is that a male or female? Sure looks like a male to me, but the black in the ventral fins, because he should have lost all that if it is a male. Huh. And here down below, everybody's looking good. They're just begging. We've got beautiful electric blue rams. We got a set of Panduros down here. That's what we'll do. We'll pop that one down here. Here, for example, I don't know, it looks like a female to me. Black spot is kind of lower on the belly, making a very deep impression. Whereas look at the black spot on this one. This is a male. The ventral fins are completely lacking black. There's no black in it. And the spot has basically been replaced with a line. That's definitely a male. If I can zoom in. I don't know if I can zoom in or not. Does it let me? Not very well, huh? He's right there. There's several. There's another male back there. There you go. You see the black spot is gone. The older they get, the males will just typically lose their black spot. And probably all the ones in here are going to be females, the ones with black spot. Yeah, that's definitely a female. So what we'll do is this week I think I'm going to pull all the females out of here and put them in a tank. Well, at least 3 or 4. We'll put the female Panduras in a tank, and then we'll put one of these males in there with them, and we'll see which female takes to them. And then we'll pull out the rest and we'll have a pair. Here's the male. There should be 8 in this tank, but I'm only seeing, well, there's so many things to look around. 1, 2, I only see about 5 at the moment, just by looking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's hard to believe, but there is about 8 of them in there. I don't know. Sometimes you're up in the upper areas, just hanging out, keeping away from everybody. Black rams. We got a lot of black rams in here. I don't know if these are ready to start. I think black rams take a little longer. Anyways, so folks, just wanted to chime in, let you have a look. Welcome everybody to our Saturday night, and we just wanted to take a quick chance to look around the tanks of the new fish. I'm definitely going to give some attention to that one fish that we saw a few minutes ago and see if I can't disrupt the aggression in there. I tried with all the things that didn't seem to work. I'm going to have to split them up. They've been dewormed and completely dewormed. We use levamisol for that, and it really works great. Hi, Jeff. So glad everybody can join. My battery is low again. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't have good planning. Where is my stand? Here. I don't have very good planning, it seems. I always forget to make sure I'm charged to 100%. And I plugged my phone in now, but I can't because I'm using the microphone. Anyway, I picked this up. I'm going to be using this as a spray on the grindle worms, keeping them more moist than I have in the past. And I've discovered that the reason Gary did such a great job with my grindle worms while I was away was he was spraying it. He thought, oh, I think they need more moisture, and he was just spraying them away. Meyer, so good to see you tonight. We're at low battery capacity, so when I just drop out, I'm sorry. Not a problem. Just glad you chimed in for a moment. Thank you for saying hello. Good to see you. So I'm going to see if spraying on these grindle worms doesn't do a better job of keeping them happier and growing them. So Gary did a great job of doing that. So I got this, and I'm going to give it a try. Before I was just dipping the worms in the tank, and then whatever moisture was on the grill, that was it. Oh, awesome. You know, just because you come in and you go, you don't have to give the super chat, but that's awesome. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let's see. I'm going to heart that. Ah, yeah. Thank you so much. I do see your super chat. Awesome. That will greatly help a lot of things. Appreciate it very much. And yes, so any questions tonight? I haven't seen any questions, but I wanted to just mention something else that I'm working on. And that is, if you remember the Daphnia, not tanks, but they're like jars. The Daphnia I had growing really strong in here, and it produced so much Daphnia. But what it had is a lot of seed shrimp, and it had a lot of other little creatures and other things. And I prefer not to have those other little creatures. That's my preference. So this is how I do it. So I took a secondary jar, and I filled it with green water that was filtered from the green water production tank. That, for all of you who don't know what that is, that's the one up there. It produces the green water for me. Does a brilliant job. Every 3-4 days I have 2 gallons of dense green water. It's a free-flowing algae, chlorella. And this is what I do. I put it in there. Then I take just a few of the Daphnia, maybe a dozen or so, and try to filter out all of these other creatures. So I just put just Daphnia. And then I just put them in the green water, and I just let them. It's going to take a lot longer to multiply because I only have a few. It's not a well-established culture. But when they come in to full bloom, you might say, when there's so much Daphnia and very little green water, you'll see it clearly. And that's when you'll notice that the other little creatures are gone. And I'll keep doing that until I completely eradicate all of the seed shrimp. The reason I got the seed shrimp is because I think this particular culture that I originally got came from the other house in the other location where I have, there was some Daphnia growing. But now I'm going to try to get a pure Daphnia strain going. Sadly, my Daphnia, which were doing so great, just died off almost instantly, and they're gone. So I don't know what happens. I don't know. I understand their cycle exactly, but they came as quickly as they went, and they went as quickly as they came. So there were thousands of them, and I was feeding them constantly. I was getting rid of as much as I could. I was doing water changes, feeding green water, but then they were gone. So now I'm just waiting for them to make an appearance back, because I think they will. So I'll throw some green water in there and see if they don't make a bounce back. I'm really curious to see if they'll bounce back and to note that. Oh, while I'm here, let's take a look at the female pistogrammas. These are the Inca 50s. We were looking at they're very skittish, just like the males, but notice they are yellowish. And on these, they look kind of like Pandoras, but no black spot, and they got stripes. They look almost like tigers. Really nice females. I like these particular ones. Very nice. Here in the Hogslow pistogramma, the females are a lot more, don't have as much color. You'll notice that there's not that red and gold like the males, but they're easy to tell that they're Hogslow only because there's something about their face. They got a pinchy little nose, as it were, and I noticed the males have it too, so it's quite obvious that these are indeed the female of the species. Let's see if I can get a closer look, if she lets me. But here are the triple reds. These are the females, and they're very attractive. Unless that's a male in the back. Maybe I got a male. I tried to pick out females. Yeah, these are the Agassiz. But as you can see, are these females or males? Time will tell. There's something about it. Oh, you got fire reds. Well, Jeff, that's great. I was interested in those, but we can't find them here, so I didn't see any fire reds, so I'm going to use these. I'm going to just try breeding some of these. This will be fun. And if we're successful, we can move on to the fire reds. Or maybe I'll get some from you. Here, and then here we have again the Trifasciata, which are very aggressive males. Now you know why. These females, they're so small compared to them, and they're yellow, whereas the males are blue. So what we'll do is maybe we'll get some going. Yeah. Now this is sort of interesting. I'm going to turn the light on. These guys start showing off as soon as you turn the light on. These are our Cyanodoralis. These are the blue-eyed. Okay, I turn the light on, and then they will the males will start, something about when you get the light turned on, they start going crazy. Maybe we'll see some displays. The males start. Right now they go to the top. It triggers like a morning, kind of a morning activity. And these males, their dorsal fin and their anal fin are really kind of interesting, but in a very unusual spot on the body. Just look at it. The dorsal fin is back further than the anal fin, and that's not normally the case on fish. So its dorsal fin is like been pushed all the way near the tail, and when that happens, it gives it an unusual look. Okay, I see some activity. Step back. The males are starting to show off. Getting excited. There's about a dozen here. They came from Tim McCaskey, and he bred these. Thank you, Tim, and also thanks to all of you for your support on the channel. Hopefully my battery will hold up long enough to have on the males. Maybe they're camera shy too. Oh, it's starting to flash at each other. A couple males chasing each other. I was hoping you get to see some displays. What they do is they start flaring at each other, and they go in these little tight circles. If you've ever seen it on Gertrude or Illuminatus, they're all like that. But that's when these fish, you get to see their true color. They're called dorsalis, excuse me, cyanodorsalis. They breed in what is actually they breed better in more of a brackish scenario, so they got to add some salt to the water. But I think there's a number of males, a few more females than males. But oh, yeah, they're wanting to breed. We've got a brilliant blue cast across their back. See that? I'm getting in a kind of zooming in a little bit. You begin to see more of their colors. It's yellow and cyan blue. Females completely dull. Not much color at all on them. No color whatsoever. These guys are like, there's two males up here that are kind of looking at each other. There's a young male and an older male. Well, you know, they're going to start doing it as soon as I turn away. That's what happens. That's the fish for you, right? So, that's the way it is. Thank you all for joining me tonight, even if it's a quick look at the fish room. And I just wanted to make sure that you all had a great weekend. Certainly, it's the case. I wonder if moving back here makes a difference. I wonder if you take a look. Let's see if I can put the camera where you can zoom in. I'm just curious. Way over here, sometimes might be a little bit better to see. On these fish, I kind of wonder, they're sort of washed out. I wondered if putting them on a black background, black base, made them darker. Most fish, it seems to do that, but in some cases, a white background and a white bottom actually are better for color. The Odessa barbs, of course, need dark, and they darken up with their own dark. And then, of course, a lot of light-colored discus look nicer on the white, probably because they're light already, and maybe. Yeah, dark recommended for rainbow. Thank you, Jeff, for your comment there. Yeah, I think I did the right thing. I think this particular tank will be good for them. It seems to be just the right size. It's a kind of a. It used to be a sump, and it was like a custom sump somebody made. I have two of these tanks, and they're really narrow, and tall. But I calculated the gallonage, and it only is about 7.5 gallons. But for some reason, it looks so much bigger than even a 5-gallon looks. It is. It just looks big, but it isn't so much that. Another breeding project I started this week. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see the pistol females. When I'm not so close to them, they're coming up to the glass now. See that? Chasing each other. Yeah, I got to get some, even for the females, I think it would be wise to get some mops in there, things for them to hide. Get them. I really was only putting them in here for the purpose of treating them after we got them in. So that's why they're in these little, these are really small tanks, really meant for growing out some baby fry. But first I had dither fish, some white clouds in each one, and now I've only got the third, far one. I put the white clouds over here in this tank behind. It's a small tank, but I heard that these guys don't eat their fry. So we're going to give that a try. I just put a lot of plants in there. I'm going to see if they don't eat their fry. I'm just going to keep feeding them up, and I know that they do breed. I've already bred some in a bucket. I took out some of the plants from a tank that they were in, and now I got fry in this bucket. I don't know how many are in there, but I'm just going to keep throwing food in there until they get big enough I can remove them, but there's probably a half a dozen fry. So breeding white clouds in a bucket is a very possible, realistic way of doing it. I know Nick on Keeping Fish Simple has done it, demonstrated it, and I didn't really do it on purpose. What I did was I had them in the 5-gallon over here, and they had a bunch of, oh, they do eat the fry but make a lot of eggs. Okay, so maybe some of them just happen to survive. Is that what it is? But I happened to have them in this tank with all the moss, and so I needed to clean out. I was going to remove them, so I just siphoned out all the moss in the bottom, just, you know, siphon it out into a bucket. But instead of tossing the water, I just let the bucket sit and took out all the fry. I took out all the fish. And then 3 days later, I noticed that in the bucket there was one I missed. He got sucked up in the siphon. And so I took out that parent fish because I didn't know why he was in there. He got in there in the siphon, and so I don't know if he ate a bunch of eggs or fry or not, but I didn't even know he was in there. I didn't see him. I looked, I don't know how many times with a flashlight. He never moved, because if there was any movement in there, I would have noticed it. So then I take him out, and then I just left what's left in there, and I know there's 8 or 10 fry so far, so we'll see what we get out of it. But thank you very much, everyone, for joining me tonight and just saying hello, asking a few questions, shooting the breeze. It's Saturday night, and now I see what I need to do. I need to do some work on this community tank. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do a water change. I'm going to remove, I think I'll remove some of these fish that will possibly eat the crebensis, And I'm going to put the male crebensis in, and let's see if we can't get some crebensis using a bigger tank. I've tried it in smaller tanks, and eventually the male starts to chase the female and damage her. And in this way, in this tank, I think that she'll be able to keep away from him if she needs to. But she's been by herself. She's colored up. I have a feeling that she's ready. So that's the condition that makes it really probably the most probable way of doing it. You did FishCapades. You asked questions. You were the only one tonight, and I hope I answered them. What's your favorite fish in the fish room? Boy, you always ask the hard questions. My favorite fish is the one that actually is alive, not dead. I hate dead fish. You know, the live ones are my favorites. But seriously, what species? If you're asking that question, I think in general, people have favorites, and their favorite fish or something like their favorite ice cream. Maybe they always had a liking for a particular, like Rocky Road. I know I like Rocky Road, but if you eat it all the time and that's all you have day in and day out, you get tired of it. And so I've had favorite fish. I think for many years the Odessa barb was my favorite fish. I'm just fascinated by it for many reasons. But as time went on, I started getting hooked on the Dawkinsia genus. And so, as you know, my favorite fish right now are the mascara barbs. And that's why I'm anxious. But I haven't had them long enough to really say, you know, this is a fish I know all about, because it takes so long for them to grow, get in their beauty, their colors. I like their behavior. I like schooling fish. That's my favorite fish, schooling fish. It always has been. So that's why I breed fish, because I like to breed like 20, 30 and have a school. It just, you know, the dynamics behind 25 fish in your tank are completely different than having a pair or 2 or 3. That's definitely the case. So I love schooling fish. I like to keep the schools up. I breed them for that purpose. Keep the schools up. And you do lose them here and there, and that's why I just keep a good number. Also, I think as far as, let's see, favorite fish, in this fish room right now today, of all the live ones in this room, I would have to say the mascara barbs are my favorite. And I'll give you a sample of why. You asked the question. I'm going to I'm going to tell you. Pandagara is fun. You know, since I got these ones, I'm going to show you these ones here. Since I got these little loaches, these are Hillstream loaches. When I got these, I had no idea they were so much fun to watch. And they go zipping around on the rocks and chasing each other. There's so much about them. But let's take a quick look. I just want to tell you something about these fish. This tank, why I like this tank. Yeah, you might say it's my favorite tank. It's my biggest tank, and it's not the cleanest one, because I have a hard time getting in to get the algae off the front cover, front glass. But if you see, I love green tiger barbs. They're one of my favorites, definitely up there. That's why I have the greens. Otherwise, I would have stripes. I would have other kinds of tiger barbs, right? But I don't. Are you ready for this? Everybody's anticipating. And then here we go. Put my hand down there. And as you can see, everybody's taking part. Getting a hand at it. This is fun. Hand feeding your fish. It's got, now the big mascaras, they come up and rip it out of my hand. If you can see them, they're lightning fast. Look at them. Zip, 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 zip. Wow. They come up too. They're very skittish fish. You'd never, if you had a net in the water, you'd never catch them. You have to drop the water in order to get them. But look at that. Mine eat out of my hand. I know, oh, look at the colors in that one. Starting to get their colors. You see the lateral line. is starting to cause a little necklace of red dots, and then the color above is like a gold, and there's a green sheen. They have beautiful black and red dots on the lobes of the tails. They're super swimmers, and in a group, I recommend 12 or more. I think I have 60. Well, I lost one. Sadly, during my trip away, when I came back, I didn't know I was missing one until I was actually finding one underneath the sink. It had flipped out of the tank sometime, maybe when I was gone, through a crack. I keep it covered, but through the crack, came down to the floor, and I didn't even know it was gone. I didn't find it until one day I was just putting my hand to get a towel from underneath there, and I found it there. So it was quite dried. So that was sad. Well, my phone's down to 5%, which means I only have seconds before it's going to knock out. Thank you all for joining, and especially you, Mayer, for the beautiful super chat. I appreciate it, and if you give me a thumbs up, I really thank you all for your support of this channel. And we got more things to come, and we're going to keep on working on it. Getting the videos out is something I really want to do. It's just a matter of getting the time right to do it, and we'll do it. We got some things to show. So have a good one, everyone, and whatever you do, be sure to, shall we say, enjoy your fish and keep it real.